This is a very rough, rushed comparison between two guitars. The only thing that I've done properly in this little comparison video is I've strung them up with the same strings, and they're a experimental string for me. They're a Newtone Heritage string. They're a lighter gauge, the high E's 11 or something like that, and goes up 52 or something like that on the low E. So unusual strings, but they're good for your hands. They're probably a bit light for this guitar. This is a Gibson J45. It's my favourite style of guitar, and the one we're coming up after this is a Gilet G45. So both slope shoulder dreads. The reason I like this guitar is it's a large body guitar, and I'm reasonably tall, so it fits me well, and it has a short scale neck, and that combination I find is very versatile for finger picking and flat picking. I also find this neck very comfortable. It's a 12-inch radius, it's a 24 3/4 scale length, and the nut width is an intermediary between 1 11/16 and 1 3/4. It's somewhere in between. It's just a nice, versatile and comfortable specification, I think. So I'm going to try and play a few tunes and just to get a comparison. Finger picking. I will try it on the Gilet now. I'll just say a little bit about this guitar. It's a bit more J40. It's a slope shoulder dread made by an Australian luthier, Jared Gilet in Botany, and I was expecting it just to be a dreadnought style guitar with slope shoulders and longer scale length, and it's a very interesting guitar. It actually feels very J45-ish, but I've put a tape measure on it, and it seems that this scale length isn't 24 3/4. It's a bit longer than that, but it's not as long as the 25.5 scale length that is common on Martin style dreadnought. So it's somewhere, it seems to be exactly in between those. So that's very interesting. So, and it's a really chunky neck, and I like, when it comes to acoustic guitars, I like necks that almost feel too big. Like I prefer to work a bit harder, and that sounds strange, but when I find necks that are narrower across here, I find I get arthritis. I don't know why that is, whether it's psychological, but if my hands feel like they're working a bit harder on a wider neck, they might get a bit tired, but I don't seem to get that arthritis. It just feels like they've had a good workout. So that's why I really like big chunky necks. So this is probably the most resonant guitar that I've owned. It's just, some guitars I find not quite loud enough to play fingerstyle, and I've resorted a lot of the time of doing a hybrid picking technique. Actually, I haven't played with a pick for a while. Yeah, it's just because it's such a resonant guitar. I enjoy playing it a finger style, but when you do use a pick with this guitar, it's it really opens up and it gets really loud acoustically. So if you were playing in simply an acoustic set with no pick PAs and stuff, like this would be awesome. But whether you're going to drag it down the street, because it is a very nice guitar, I'd say out of the two guitars, the Gibson is a guitar I love. I just love the design of that guitar. Just works, do anything with it. But for a guitar that retails in Australia for $4,500 to $5,000, you look at it, some of the finish on it, even though it's a very solid guitar, and you think, ooh, you think that could be a little bit better for that sort of money. Whereas this, you can't see it on the video, it's timber bindings, it's got the purfling on the top there, purfling between the binding and the sides, same on the back. It's Honduran mahogany, I think. I think it was salvaged out of some old furniture. It's Adirondack spruce top, and I would say, new. I bought this second hand in mint condition. New, I don't think it would, if it retailed any dearer than that, it wouldn't have been much. So it's a fair bit nicer guitar for the money. So very resonant, can get very loud. These are new strings, but it probably acoustically has the edge over the J45, but the J45 is no slouch. Yeah, but the thing that surprised me again about this was how J45-ish it was, because there are slope-shouldered dreadnoughts, like all it is a dreadnought shape with this slope in the shoulder, becoming quite fashionable, and a lot of manufacturers make them, but not all of them have the shorter scale neck, which I kind of associate with the J45 and what distinguishes it in the way it plays and sounds. So I'll try to do similar things with the Gibson. Try and do a bit of hybrid picking. It's a very good sounding guitar. It just works. They're very, I don't know. Gibson J45 to me is just a guitar that works. had it for a reasonable number of years, and I'm just so familiar with it. It's just feels like home. It's my go-to guitar. I love this guitar. Would I recommend you go and buying a Gibson J45 new? I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I bought this about $2,100 second hand. So these two guitars are so similar feeling, but so different. They like sort of that, I don't know what you call it, a sort of loose, sort of jangly sound, but they're also, yeah, that one's probably a little bit more open, I don't know. That's how I describe this guitar. It just works. It's built solid. It's a solid, reliable guitar. It hasn't moved at all. I haven't had to adjust the truss rod. I've had no belling. In spite of that, it's loud and resonant. So it's a really solid, reliable guitar. But just, you think for a premium guitar, there's sort of little rough patches in the finish and in the timber. You just think, oh, but it does the job. Like when you're playing it, you don't look at it. So I love Gibson J45. Just my favourite style of guitar. Then you listen to this, it's just so open and resonant. So both great guitars, and this is probably owns the J45, but so I'll sign off on that. A lot of rambling, but yeah, I really love these two guitars, and I'm very lucky to own them. But I'm 50 now. I've been playing since I was 18, so I kind of think, yeah, I'm justified. I don't care if anyone says that I'm not. Yeah. So I'll just sign off with a little bit of Hillbilly Highway riff. So hope this was interesting. Not the best playing or the best recording. It's only through a little Rode mic plugged into my phone. So, but anyway, there you go.